Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and welcome back to the top 5 series for Overwatch. Oh boy, when will it end? I'm not talking about the series, by the way, I'm talking about life, because boy, oh boy, this ain't enjoyable. Last week, we looked at the top 5 most broken heroes in Overwatch, and guess what happened, guys? Every single hero was commented on that video! Y'all make me so happy sometimes, making me realize that I'm not the only toxic Overwatch player that has some stupid opinions. And that's gonna continue, because today we're gonna be looking at the top 5 most balanced heroes in Overwatch. And as always, I want you guys to comment down below telling me who you think is the most balanced hero in Overwatch. But I'll be honest, guys, before I made this list, I thought I had a good idea at who actually was the most balanced hero in the game. But then when I started to rank the heroes based on the criteria of what makes a balanced hero, well, balance, I've surprised myself for who was at the #1 spot. So stay tuned for that, because this is one of the few times where a top 5 video I feel like isn't really determined based on my opinion, but kind of on pure fact. Wait. A top 5 video from Bro You Whack based on facts? That can never be. But don't drench your panties and feel No Nut November early, because we're still gonna be having my dumb commentary early on in this video, because taking over the #5 spot is a hero that I think has one of the biggest skill gaps in the game, but is one of the most straightforward heroes to learn. There's just one simple obstacle. And of course, I'm talking about the thickest hero in the whole entire game. No, I'm not talking about Torbjorn, unfortunately. WIDOWMAKER. So what makes WIDOWMAKER one of the most balanced heroes in Overwatch? Well, on the pure fact that if you have good aim with WIDOWMAKER, you're gonna do good in the game. But if you have trash aim with WIDOWMAKER, you're gonna do bad. WIDOWMAKER is quite literally the blueprint of a balanced hero. You're good with her, you're gonna do good. You're bad with her, you're gonna do bad. A lot of time with Overwatch heroes, you can get away with using their ultimates or a few abilities and still having some impact throughout the game, but with WIDOWMAKER, those opportunities of having a defining moment or a huge impact are at any given point. It's just all based on the player's skill. But because she has so many defining moments in the game, that's one of the reasons why I kind of rank her low on the list, because she does have a touch of unbalancedness. Unbalancedness, is that even a word? Depending on how good of a player you are, yes, you can do really good or really bad, but if you're a god tier player with WIDOWMAKER, really nothing can stop you. Not a dive comp, not flank heroes, because you're gonna be able to stop every single one of those heroes. So at that point, you really gotta ask yourself, is it the hero's fault where they have the ability to stop a bunch of squishy heroes at any given time, and even a few tank heroes, or is it the player's fault for being too good and they have to nerf their skill? And you also have to consider how Overwatch was built. An FPS game where high aim skill isn't necessarily required for you to do good in the game. But WIDOWMAKER is one of the few exceptions where if you do have godlike aim, you can totally run house the whole entire match. Which is why in recent memory, people have been calling WIDOWMAKER broken, especially in the higher ranks like Grandmaster and Masters, because you do have so many opportunities to just insta-kill a lot of these squishy heroes. But all that means is that you have good aim, my friend, so don't be shy, whip out the WIDOWMAKER, and don't be scared all because of some insecure people that don't have godlike aim are gonna be making fun of you because, oh, you're playing a cheesy hero. Be proud of what you're packing, boy. But at the #4 spot, we got a hero that needs everything that WIDOWMAKER needs, and then some. You need to have the godlike aim, and you also need to be a smart Overwatch player, and you also need to be a selfless Overwatch player, more importantly. So basically 1% of the Overwatch population. This is Ana. While I have my own personal gripes with console Anas, I love me a good Ana main, because I just know I'm gonna be blessed with the amount of heals that nobody else can give me at any single distance, but it's all dependent on the player's skill. And you're gonna kind of see that trend with a lot of these heroes, where players have to put in a lot of time, energy, and effort to learning how to even be competent with that hero. And Ana is no exception, because again, you gotta hit the enemies, you gotta hit your own targets, but you also gotta defend yourself from so many hormonal DPS heroes. A Genji, a Doomfist, a Tracer, and what do you have to protect yourself because your team ain't gonna protect you? A little tiny sleep dart. What's that thing gonna do? A lot, if you know how to master it, but that is why Ana is so hard. Plus, on top of that, Ana is one of the few healers that doesn't have a regeneration ability when it comes to her health. Mercy literally has a passive where her health regenerates, Zenyatta has a shield, Lucio has a song. Ana, she does have her anti-grenade, but I always say that you don't want to waste your anti-grenade on yourself. So you're gonna have this moment where you gotta decide, okay, I'm down to 100 health, there's a tiny little skinny lesbian behind me that just shooted me in the back of the head, I missed waste my sleep dart, what am I gonna do? Waste my anti-grenade or use it on the enemy run? And by that time, you're already dead because you thought too long about it. You gotta be quick on your toes when playing Ana. That's why I think she's one of the most balanced heroes in Overwatch. She has a lot of in-depth abilities that can be used to your advantage, but also a lot of cons that if you don't master them, a good Ana is definitely gonna go underappreciated because it's such a thankless hero. While you're over there diving the enemy backline, getting all these kills and wondering, dang, I'm not dying that easy. There's an Ana back there defending yourself against a Tracer and a Genji and a Doofus and a Winston and a Diva, wondering, when is somebody gonna protect me, please? And then you're over there just dancing and emoting like, hey guys, look at me, I got all these kills. And then here comes Ana just dragging herself like, just kill me. But at the middle of our list, we have a hero that doesn't get changed a lot, basically because she has the highest highs and the lowest lows of a hero. And this is none other than the cover art girl for Overwatch, Tracer. Let me ask you guys a question. How many nerfs and buffs do you think Tracer has experienced in the 4.5 years Overwatch has existed? You're gonna be surprised by this fact because you can only count on one hand. 4 total patches. And you want to know when the first update came for Tracer? In the middle of 2018, almost 2 years after Overwatch release, and it was a nerf to her post-bomb ultimate ability. Like, that just goes to show that Tracer is the highest of highs and lowest of lows of heroes. She has high damage, high mobility, but a very low health pool and low abilities at her disposal. She's a pretty straightforward hero, but you gotta be able to master her cons to be able to unlock her true potential. And I think that's just such a unique feature about Tracer that I don't think any other hero is going to be able to replicate, or at the very least replicate and not be a garbage hero or an overpowered hero. Because the cons are so obvious with Tracer, if you learn to master them, they're not cons anymore, and you just unlocked this powerful being of a hero. Plus, I almost forgot to mention this, but I think it kind of goes without saying that Tracer requires a lot of high aim skill mechanics to be able to do good with her. Because a lot of people don't seem to realize this, but you're constantly moving with Tracer. Unlike WIDOWMAKER and unlike Ana, or unlike a lot of sniper heroes that are kind of more or less stationary, Tracer is always moving, which means you're not only having to move your legs, but then move your crosshairs with your legs, which then adds another layer of skill. There's just a lot of things that are demanded of a good Tracer player, whether it's having good aim, or whether it's learning where the health packs are throughout the map, or even just learning how to navigate the enemy back line so you don't get stopped by so many of the counters. The Brigitte shield bash, the McCree stun, the Roadhog hook. You know, there's a lot of things that could stop you as Tracer that if you learn how to navigate it and you know who to dive, not only are you going to be a force to reckon with, but you're going to cause so many people to switch off of the heroes that they're good at just to try to stop you. Because the counters are so obvious, but if you're so slippery and agile, which is what Tracer specializes in, oh my god, you're going to be annoying so many people. You're already annoying me, and I'm not even playing against you. But now, hot gamer boys and Negroes everywhere, we gotta talk about the runner-up for the most balanced hero in Overwatch. Now, originally, I had this hero at the #1 spot, but once you see who's at #1, you can soon realize, yeah, that hero is pretty balanced, so I've moved him to the #2 spot, and this hero doesn't necessarily require a lot of skill, but a high IQ. So basically, like 3 Overwatch players. This is REINHARDT. Now, I know what you're probably gonna comment. Bro, you whack, how can you harp about having good aim with a lot of these heroes, and then throw REINHARDT this high on the list? I get it, like I understand. This is probably gonna be a controversial pick, because while REINHARDT doesn't require the best aim or the best mechanical skill, what he does require is a smart player to be able to control him. I mean, we all know the REINHARDT meme where someone who's terrible with him just goes and charges into the enemy back line with no remorse. It's gotten to the point where they even implemented it in the Archives mission, where Ana's telling REINHARDT, and REINHARDT, please don't just charge into the enemy backline, because it's such a meme at this point. You gotta learn when to be passive with REINHARDT, but you also gotta learn when to be aggressive with him. You can't just stand there and protect your team, and you can't just go in guns blazing or hammers blazing thinking that you're the DPS god. You gotta have this good balance, which is a lot harder than it seems. The only time where you can really balance that passiveness and aggressiveness with him is just playing so many games with REINHARDT, which over time, yeah, you start to get a good feel of it, but it's still the time invested as required, which in my opinion, I think really does make a balanced hero. But if you still don't believe me, take a novice Overwatch player that has barely literally any time on Reinhardt and put him against a player of the same skill level, but is a Reinhardt main. Guarantee you he's gonna make that novice player look silly 10 times out of 10 because the Reinhardt matchup just is based on who's gonna slip up first. And a good Reinhardt player is gonna be able to identify the mistakes of a bad Reinhardt player and punish them every single time. If it's not with him swinging the hammer or charging full force at that Reinhardt, it's with an Earth Shatter. That's why Reinhardt is one of the most balanced heroes in the game. You might have godlike aim, but if you're a dummy dumb boy, oh my god, you're not gonna do good with him. Which is why I don't do good with Reinhardt. But guys, do you want to know who is the most balanced hero in Overwatch? This is going to probably come as a surprise to you, because even I didn't think this hero was even going to make it on this list to begin with. But then when I started to look at this hero more, started to study it, and started to look at the history of him, it started to seem more and more apparent that this hero is the definition of balance. Never once had a moment of overpoweredness. Never once had a moment where it shifted the meta in his favor because he is such a selfless hero. The most balanced hero in Overwatch is Winston. It's Winston. Remember how I brought up the fact that Tracer has only had 4 updates in the past 4.5 years of Overwatch existence? Wanna know how many Winston has had? He's had 3, and one of them was just an added health part to his bubble. So really, he's only had 2 nerfs and buffs in his whole entire existence. He's the only hero, with the exception of Echo, to have that many changes. And Echo is the newly released hero in the game. So for her to have that many changes already just goes to show that even if you don't believe me, it's like, how could you not think Winston is one of the most balanced heroes just based on that fact alone? But let me just further explain. I brought up the fact that he really wasn't a defining meta hero. Yeah, he was a part of the dive comp, but he really required Diva. But even when Overwatch was first starting off, you could easily run a Winston and get by because he was such an excellent counter for a hero like Genji especially, or a hero like Tracer, because they can't easily die by them, or he just counters them. But then he can also get easily countered by heroes like Pharah, or especially Reaper, because Reaper can just easily shred through this big chunky boy, and Winston can't really touch the Pharah. This is what a balanced hero is all about, where you're able to kill somebody, but somebody's able to kill you. And I really do think Winston is kind of the balance point which every single hero needs to strive to be. And it starts to make sense the more and more you think about it, because who are the faces of Overwatch? Well, Tracer is the cover art girl in the face of the game itself, but Winston is the leader of the Overwatch organization. So I'm starting to think that both of these heroes were the first 2 heroes really worked on in the game and really mastered, to the point where they didn't need a lot of changes because they were worked on so many times, because they were going to be the faces of the Overwatch game and organization. So that's who I think are the most balanced heroes in Overwatch, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments saying that, oh, Pharah's the most balanced, or Soldier 76 is the most balanced, but I really wanted to pick heroes that really wasn't a defining meta hero in the game, but is still a good hero, just requires a lot of skill or high IQ. Winston and Reinhardt are the heroes that require a lot of high IQ, while Tracer, Ana, and WIDOWMAKER require, I guess, a few IQ points, but more importantly, high aim skill. So anyway guys, I love you guys, thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.